Hello, fam. It's Real Life with Love, 3GTV. And I'm so glad to have you all here today. I'm really excited. I'm having my first guest, our first guest, because this is your show too. And like, I can't wait to introduce her. She's so fabulous. You know how we do here on Real Life with Love. I want to make sure that you guys are comfy, you got your drink on, you got your eat on, and we're just chilling. Like, we're going to talk about real stuff. And today I really want to get into how we relate to our children, and those children in our lives. A lot of times I think people believe that um, as the adult, they can just do whatever and say whatever. And we don't realize how it really affects our children. So, one of the things that I've done with Agape Intelligence, in unleashing feminine genius, is I also have a program called I Use, and it too operates from Agape Intelligence workshops, but they are designed for tweens and teens. And of course, my special guest today is so fabulous. Her name is Nandi Alston, and she's 15 years old. She is freaking brilliant, beautiful, majestic, highly confident. She is getting ready to go into the 11th grade. She has a 4.0 average, and she is currently taking college courses. So she is bad to the bone. I ain't gonna lie. Okay. I am so privileged to have her on today. And I'm also privileged to be her mother. And I want you all to know that I've learned a lot from her and my older son, who's 24. I've learned a lot from both of them. They're very intelligent, and um, uh, all of us are like philosophers. So you can just imagine how our household goes. Like, we have a lot of fun because we all think that we're comedians too, but we're very deep thinkers, and we're very much about our relationships and working on ourselves, and then working on ourselves with each other. So without further ado, I want to welcome Nandi Alston. Hi, Nandi.
Hi everyone.
How are you today?
I'm pretty cool. How about you?
I'm doing well. I've been having a lot of fun with you this summer.
Me too. I'm enjoying it.
What are you enjoying about this summer?
Well, the shopping and like blowing all of our money away. That's the best part. But mostly just spending time with you and hanging out and just chilling.
This is the part that I like about being your mother and having the relationship that we do. I mean, we have our moments because we're both very strong willed and we're very powerful women, and you've been cultivated to be powerful. And I really like that we can talk to each other. Like, we have these moments where it's like, for real? That's how you get down seriously? And you have such a great ability to come to me and say, hey, that doesn't feel right for me. So share with everybody kind of how you go about that when I do something that's not okay behavior.
First of all, I give you the day to blow off and blow off some steam, do you get angry, get upset, go in your room, tough it out, whatever. And the next day, come back and let you know how I feel, and you listen to my feelings and you take them, and we try to move on from that, and we try to make a better relationship out of everything we learn from each other. Tell me how you feel, I tell you how I feel, and we don't resent each other for that. We move on and we learn from that. And I love that.
Well, something that I noticed about the way that you and I relate is that you have this ability to work though in that same vein with your own friends or your brother or you know Gary, that happens to be my husband, yeah. And I noticed that you're so mature about what you do. And I think back to when I was a kid, and I'm like, oh my God, I did not have it going on like this young woman here. And like, I'm so proud of how powerful you are. I do want you to talk a little bit about how you work out friendships and how you kind of choose who's going to be in your life and who isn't. Because I think tweens and teens have a lot of pressure to do things that aren't necessarily good for them. And you are such a leader that you like, anyway. So if you could talk a little bit about how you choose friends and and when you decide that the friendship is over, what it is you kind of tell people.
I have always wanted to be around people I like, and if I don't like them, then there's no reason for me to be around them. I'm not going to kiss up to anyone for me to be popular or to be so-called happy or whatever. My happiness is mine, and I create it. I don't need anyone else to do it for me. And I don't need someone to be bossy and tell me what to do, because I already have a number one person who gets to tell me what to do, and I don't need anyone else doing it. So I choose people I like, and people who I can get along with, and people who don't use me and I don't use them, and we're just having fun. It's not a problem 24/7. We're not fighting, arguing, and we both want something good. We don't want to fight each other. We don't want to fight other people. We just want to have a good time all the time. And when I'm, letting go of relationships with people I no longer want to have a friendship with,
Mhm.
I let them know, you know, you're this certain way, and that's you, and I don't want to change you. That's who you are, but this is who I am, and our personalities do not mix. So I think it's time that we go our separate ways, because I'm just not feeling it, and I don't think you are too. And I just let them know. That's not how I roll, and that apparently that's not how you roll. So let's just go our separate ways. And it's that simple. It doesn't need to be any more than that. And the way I learned that is not only just being myself and not learning things I learn from daily life, just watching people and watching everything, but I learned it from you, my mother, raising me, growing up, and telling me, I deserve better than most. I am my number one, and I need to, realize that, and I need to let people know if they're not making me happy, then they shouldn't be in my lives or in my life. And that's it's that simple. And you didn't even know it, but that was AI at its own. And that's just how you raised me and my brother Graceland, and this is how it is.
Yeah, I really do know that, you know, we began Agape Intelligence in our home. And, I learned a lot, of course, from my grandparents. And I learned a lot from my parents too, but I had a very loving and caring relationship with my grandparents. And I think that was what was most important to me. And what I'm so proud of is that both of you and your brother, you took things to heart. And like you said, that was the very beginning of Agape Intelligent. And oh, I'm just, my tongue's tied. That was, oh my gosh, what, 13 or 14 years ago, you know? And I love that you think about things. You don't necessarily agree with what I say, you think it through, and then you'll try it out sometimes you won't, but you really give thought to things. And I think what happens with adults, especially, and then teenagers and tweens and and kids, it just kind of rolls out, is that you and I have talked about this. People can be so thoughtless, you know, and that's something else that I wanted people to hear from you about, just kind of how that darker side of humanity, where we're thoughtless and we don't we don't think beyond, right here and now. And you and I talked about that because, I really admire you as as Nandi. I admire you. I respect you, and I really want parents and I want adults to really get this, that just because your child or whatever teenager or tween you're dealing with is younger than you doesn't mean that they don't know things and that they don't have a truth to tell. And what we need to be able to do is listen as if we believe that that person is right. It doesn't mean you agree with them. But as adults, I can tell you right now, this whole idea that you think you know everything, you don't. And your children can teach you a lot, not just by their behavior, but by what they say to you, because they're there with you. They almost know you better than you know yourself. So, Nani, I wanted you to speak a little bit on how people kind of roll without thinking and how it can be so harmful to the next person, because it gets into bullying and things like that.
I personally feel like we all have our moments where we just don't think, we just do. And
Hmm.
that can cause a lot of problems, and then it's just something dangerous and something fun that doesn't cause any problems, it's just something fun you want to do. But on in most cases, it's a bad thing and it hurts other people, and sometimes we just don't think, we just do. And it's just a part of us. And I'm not making an excuse for, the human behavior, but that's just how it is. And in order for you to get past, doing without thinking, you need to think, you need to try, you need to listen, you need to consider other people's feelings before you do what you're about to do. And, like you said, we all, have those moments, and like we all make mistakes, and
Yeah.
sometimes we just hurt other people. Some people do it just because they're just the way they are. And some people make the honest mistake of just not thinking. And I think with parents, it's just, I don't want you to do what I did when I was younger. But in some cases, some parents don't tell you what they've done, so how are we supposed to know?
Yeah.
And they go around and they just, tell us, you can't be this way, you can't do this, you can't do that. But you're not giving us the whole story, you want us to be better, but why? Has something ever happened to you? Can I relate to you? Because that's all teens ever want. We just want someone to listen and to be there. And
Hmm.
it doesn't really categorize into teens. It's everyone. Everyone wants someone to listen to them, and to be there, and to just, you know, have someone.
Yes.
And for someone to, their parent, the person they look up to most, to tell them not to be a certain way, or not to do something, or not to act that way, it just feels like you're judging them. But most of the time, parents aren't judging their kids. They're trying to make them better.
Yes.
And but it doesn't come across that way unless you talk to your kids. And if you don't talk to your kids, then you just end up raising a rebellion.
Yes. Yes. Nani, you said some real important things there. And one of the things that I really hope that parents are listening to here, adults are listening to, is that Nandi telling us that we need to be more forthright, more forthcoming with what happened to us as teenagers, so that as a teenager, as a tween, someone in their 20s and stuff can understand that you actually have been through it. I just, I don't know. It gets on my nerves when adults and parents say, "Well, I've been through this, and so I know what I'm talking about. I know better than you." And I think the difference is, and this is something that you learn in Agape Intelligence, which is I'm shamelessly plugging it. You know, you can take a Unleash Your Feminine Genius, which has all of this in it, and it really will help you to have extraordinary relationships. And you can do that at momswithdreamsuniversity.com, or you can take workshops that I have online. And I rarely, if ever now, do one-to-ones because I do a lot of speaking and public speaking and things like that. So, but one of the things that I really did with my children, and when I go out and I work with youth, is I tell them the truth about me as a teenager. I tell them the things that I went through and the mistakes, the specific mistakes that I made. So here's what I mean. When adults get up and they're like, "Well, I've made mistakes too, and I know what I'm talking about. And you're younger, you haven't even been through anything, you don't even know." Okay, I'm gonna just call bullshit on that because our children go through a lot of things, and that's something else. We're not at school with them. We don't see how the playground is now. Although Nandi's, of course, she's in high school, but it's bullying on a different level. It's like workplace bullying. When you get into high school, it becomes more psychological, and um, and if our kids can't come to us and talk to us and let us know what's really going on with them, because basically they can't trust us. Actually, what's happening is they see us as judgmental because we never told them the specifics of what we did and didn't do, and about our bad behavior when we were teenagers. Don't y'all act like you never did anything and you were holier than now. That's a bunch of crap, and you and I both know that. So that's something that we need to be real about, and we need to be open and honest with our children, because our children then can say, "Wow, my mom, my dad, they do understand. They do get it because they did some stuff too." And I can tell you guys right now, without going into all the hairy details, I embrace my inner thug. You guys all know that. As brilliant as I am, I embrace my inner thug. And I also have made it imperative that I tell my children exactly the things that I did that were wrong and incorrect and just plain out of order, so that they know that they can come to me and talk to me about things, because I've been there. I did do that and probably invented half of the badass stuff going on with teenagers today. So um, I just love that you said that, Nandi, because it makes sense, and it makes it so that parents and adults, we can start listening to you and not just thinking that we know everything and you're a kid, how you can't tell us or whatever. And I also like the way that you come at things with me. I'm a Southern Black woman, and I really believe in being respectful to your elders, though I've had my moments where I haven't been. And Nandi, you come at me with respect. You tell me what you don't like, and you tell me about how you feel, or I did something that caused you to feel a certain way that didn't feel good to you. And I, as your mother, and I, as someone who practices Agape Intelligence, need to shut the hell up and listen and try to put myself in your position. And I want to know how that feels for you too. So if you can share that with people.
Having a parent who actually listens to you and actually, listens to you and takes in what you're saying and tries to do better is one of the best things a teenager can have, because we already have enough people who don't understand us and who judge us on a daily basis. And the people we call family, we need them to understand and we need them to have our backs. And not too many people that I know personally have that, you know. And we all need our family.
Yes.
It's just how it is. We all need that one person or two people or how many ever to be there for us and to listen to us in order for us to continue to have a relationship with them as we grow and as they grow,
Yes.
you know? And that's just we I personally love that I can tell you, you know, how I feel when it's good or when it's bad, and we don't stay stuck on that situation. We talk about it thoroughly, and we move on and we learn from it and we try to be better throughout the relationship as we go on. Because I I personally do want a relationship with you when I'm older. I don't know about you, but I want to, you know, I want to have a good relationship. And when I look back, I want to say, you know, even through my teen years, even though when I was crazy and I did weird stuff, or I wasn't crazy, I was too silent, or I just was a normal average kid or whatever, you were there. You've always been there, and you're always going to be there, and you're here now. And that's what every person in the whole entire world wants to say about their parents. And some don't have that. And so I just feel like parents, listen. It's really all you have to do. Don't argue, don't fight them, just be there. Just listen, because that's all we want. That's all we want.
Wow. There's just so much. You're such a gift, Nandi, and I know that. I like go to her school. You guys don't know. At the kids' school. When Race was in school. I was up at school and doing stuff. I'm checking everybody out because I'm also very much. I stylize myself as a wolf. Now people might see that as, oh, a wolf. That's kind of this and that. A wolf is an apex predator, very noble, very pack oriented. And because I was a single parent and I was raising my children and working full time, and then I went back to school to get a whole other degree and all of these different things. And then I created Agape Intelligence to help us to be powerful and be magnetically competent and confident, and to be able to have empathy and understanding for other people, right? Because humans are about grouping and having relationships. Um, Even through all of those things that I was doing, and with my crazy, because I got some crazy. That's part of why I created Agape Intelligence too. And something I think parents don't do is they don't look at their own bad behaviors and the things that they do that really have a serious effect on their children. And, you know, while some of you may be thinking, oh, you're talking about parents that have been on drugs or whatever. Okay, I was never a drug addict or drank or any of those things. I went to work, worked 2 jobs. I was there with my kids. I was present. And I think that's part of what Nandi has said here is that I've been present in their lives. Um, Even through severe depression and having OCD myself and all of those things. I went in and worked with doctors and therapists because I didn't want that to have a nasty negative effect on my children, even though I knew it would leak out, and have an effect on them. But I also wanted to be real with my kids and tell them what was going on with me, and really take heed to what they were saying to me, because I could say some shit that wasn't okay to say, and we carry things, especially as kids, that our parents say to us because we're supposed to be the ones that love them the most and give our children the most. So what I'm telling you as an adult to an adult, or a mom to a mom, or a mom to a dad, is that you need to really have agape intelligence, and you need to do what we do first, which is self study. And for Nandi to be able to tell all of you as adults and give you the wisdom that she's giving you is a phenomenal thing. And I really do hope that you take heed, because this is a brilliant young woman, and it's not just because she's my daughter. She is just fantastic, well respected, well revered, and the kids at school just love her. And here was an amazing thing that you did, Nani, that I was like, that's like, girl, she bad. She has bad tail. Oh, 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 wow, wow. Okay. So at the beginning of the year, Nani comes up with these like things that she's going to do that year. So she always has plans. I love her plans, right? Like I just sit there and I'm like, you gonna do what? So in the 10th grade last year, she decided she was gonna go and meet every 10th grader. So everywhere we go, there's all these kids. And what was fabulous about it too was the fact that other kids felt like, wow, there's somebody else at school that says hello to me. And the other thing that I respect so very much about Nandi is I'm talking about you like you're not here, Nandi. I'm just saying the other thing that I respect so much about you is that you look at um, people at school who are not the most popular kids or whatever, and you hang out with them, because of who you are and your competence, your confidence, and your brilliance, and you're just magnetic, and you're beautiful, and you know, it's just like I could go on and on. Kids admire you, and for you to take the time to get to know every 10th grader in that school is huge. Was just fantastic to me. And I kind of want to know what that felt like for you, like just getting to just going up and saying, hi, my name is Nandi, what's your name?
I'm gonna have to correct you. It wasn't every 10th grader. It was just people I didn't know. Newbies. It was not every 10th grader.
Well, people you didn't know, that's the rest of the 10th
Just
graders.
There's people who were new and didn't really know their way around. I felt obligated to help other people out because I knew how confusing it was when I first came,
Mhm.
and I just wanted to help people out. I'm just the kind of person who likes to make friends and likes to make people feel comfortable and make them feel like they have someone when they come through here, even if they don't end up being like that friend I hang out with every day. So they move on and they're confident enough to go find other friends who understand them more than I could.
Wow. See, that's what I'm talking about. Nandi, I'm telling you right now, we could talk about so much. There's like gobs and gobs of things that we can talk about. And I just want you to know that I am, you know, I'm just so very proud of you. And more than that, of course, I adore you and love you. And I always tell you, besides my grandmother who raised me, you are the other woman that I love the most in this entire world. And my God, you're so incredible. Um, you are making a difference already in this world. And and every day I can't wait to see what you're gonna do next. Thank you so much for coming on my show, baby girl. I love you so much. Kisses. I'm gonna kiss you. I'm gonna come over there and kiss your cheeks. And I just want to wrap up our show. I hope that all of this wisdom that Nandi imparted on us will really be helpful to you in your life, with the children in your life, the teens, the tweens in your life, and give you a different understanding and a different way to approach them. And like I said, you can always take one of my workshops. You can see there, stoa.vpweb.com. We are here for you. And we have practitioners, AI practitioners, that will help you through Agape Intelligence. Yes, it's a process. Yes, it takes time. And it will change your life. And if you really heard Nandi, she told you something very important, that you need to have healthy, happy relationships in your life and cultivate them. And that's what she's done. I'm so very glad you joined our broadcast today. Real life with love, TV. You know I love you, fam. Mwah, as always.